It's that time again. The new stage is now set, so let the party begin. Everybody knows the name of the Dallas Cowboys. Let's go Cowboys.
Hello everybody and welcome in to another edition of the Cowboys Fan Show, the postseason edition of the Cowboys Fan Show. As always, my name is Tyler Ortega, joined by my co-host Scott Jeter. Now Scott, the Cowboys were off this week. They had the first round bye, NFC's #1 seed. So we're going to have a look at the playoff picture here early on. This graphic produced here by our director, Javi Alvarado. So let's start off here. As you can see in the far corner, New York taking on Green Bay. The winner would advance to face the Dallas Cowboys. So let's have a look at those highlights right here in the film room. This game going on out in cold, snowy Lambeau. As you see, Eli Manning finding Shepard there for the first down. Now Eli going deep to OBJ, and he just couldn't reel it in, Scott.
No, none of these guys really could. I don't know what happened this week, Tyler.
Yeah, and there's Shepard, almost identical play to OBJ. Still couldn't come down with the ball. As you see, hits him square in the hands, and you got to think, as a professional, NFL wide receiver, they come down with those catches.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I could have come down with that, Tyler. I mean, Eli puts it right on the money. Even to OBJ, 2 drops in the end zone, that's pretty inexcusable.
Yeah, and here we go. Rodgers, that bad man, riding a hot streak. Over his last 8 games, has not thrown a single interception, finds Jordy Nelson there for the first down. Now, speaking of Jordy Nelson, he may not play in that game against the Cowboys, and we'll see why here in just a second as the pressure gets to Rodgers and gets the sack. And you know, Scott, you said it there in that first half. They had a lot of pressure on Rodgers, really had him rattled.
And the coverage. I mean, he was standing back there. He couldn't find an open receiver. They were coming after him. And I think, 28, 29 yards in the first quarter or something? It was like 7 yards, like 29 for the half.
Yeah, and this here is why Jordy Nelson may be out against the Cowboys. As you see, he takes a shot to the ribs from the safety, leads with his helmet and everything.
Yeah.
That's kind of a dirty play.
I think so. If you're looking right here, I mean, he could have just put his arms forward. He literally puts his head down, leads right into those ribs, and you can't. That's the crown of the helmet. He's going to get a letter from the league on that one, Tyler.
I'd say at least, 2, maybe 3 broken ribs on that?
They said it's at least 2. That's right.
At least 2. Coach Mike McCarthy would not disclose any specifics of the injury, just said it was a knee injury. So status is uncertain until Saturday. That's when we'll know if Jordy will play or not. Getting back to these highlights now, Eli Manning is going to be taken down for the sack on 3rd and 6. We're just a couple of minutes before halftime here with the Giants up 6-0. Now keep an eye on that score, because one side is going to explode and the other side's not going to go very far. Now Rodgers finding Adams down the sideline. That's a beautiful dime throw.
Yeah, he's been hot for a minute now. I mean, they came into this one winning 6 straight, and Rodgers is he's saying he's going to do it. Moving around like that, I mean, when you got coverage like that, you can't leave your DBs hanging for that long. I mean, there was a play in the first half. Yeah, I think he had 8 seconds, they were saying, to throw, and he's scrambling around, and you really got to get to that, man.
That's insane.
We know this.
And, you see these Packers receivers here making catches just like this. Meanwhile, the Giants receivers are hitting them straight in the hands, and they just can't come down with it.
Yeah, well, they were clubbing with Bieber, apparently, the week before, and
yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing. Is did it have an effect on the game? Maybe not, but people are going to talk about it forever now that they lost.
Oh yeah, the infamous boat trip here. Now 4th and 2, Rodgers drops back. It's 7-6. You're going to chuck one up, says a prayer. It's a Hail Mary. And by golly, Scott, that prayer is answered.
You were the push-off, but yeah, we've seen Rodgers do that a couple times, 2-3 times, and wow, you've got to watch out for that. You've got to get behind those. So you can't let the receivers get behind you.
Yeah, knock it down, as they always say. Just knock it down. Somehow the ball gets all the way through the back of the pile. Randall Cobb. I mean, yeah, he does push off. It's a missed call, but. Hey, you got to knock
let him
it
play
down
on the Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This one was just before halftime. Actually, time expired going into the half on this play, so the Pack would take the lead. Now, coming out of halftime, 14-6, as they're going to be stuffed. Ty Montgomery stuffed at the line on a 4th down. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, great field position, yeah.
Yeah, the $250 million defense finally stepping up. And there's Eli going deep, and he finally connects with one of his receivers for a touchdown. I feel like that was the only catch that was made all game.
Pretty much. And who is this over here, number 15? I don't think he was on the boat. But
couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, they had a rough day, these receivers.
Yeah, and you know, there were reports out there afterwards that after the Giants lost, Odell Beckham got frustrated, punched a hole in the wall in the locker room. Now, I saw somebody on the internet say, how could he punch a hole in the wall if his hands didn't work?
Oh,
I don't know.
brutal.
That's got to be the meme of the weekend. 1st and 10 now for the Packers, leading by 1. About 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. He's going to find Randall Cobb on a quick slant, and Cobb does the rest. His second touchdown catch of the day. His first, of course, coming on that Hail Mary that we just saw. But you see the defender, he just gets in a bad position, Scott.
Yeah, and these in the second half, these Green Bay receivers are open all day, which is crazy because their big play guy and Jordy Nelson's sitting on the bench at this point.
Yeah, and that's something that Dallas is going to have to keep an eye on, are these other receivers here as the Packers tack on 3. That bumps their lead up to 24-13. Now, let's take you back just a little bit to last week. Our predictions for this game, I had Green Bay winning 38-17. Scott had Green Bay winning 24-17. So let's just keep an eye on that score there as this game keeps going. So you're going to see here, Eli Manning just drops back, and he tries to rip one to OBJ, and like I said, the hands just weren't working for him.
Another drop. I mean, and in their defense, I don't think that, I honestly, I'll crack jokes, I don't think they both had anything to do with it. Apparently it was 11 degrees in Lambeau. It said with the wind chill factor, it felt like it's 1 degree. I can't feel my fingers at 32 degrees, Tyler.
Yeah, and
so.
that ball, you know, as hard as a rock, with as hard as those quarterbacks are throwing it, trying to squeeze it through the defenders, that's got to be painful. Now Rodgers here on a 3rd down, finds his receiver once again in the end zone. Randall Cobb, his 3rd touchdown of the day. Now in the other football, Scott, they call that a hat trick.
Yeah, monster game for Cobb over here. And he was just open all day, and he just exploits the rookie right there, and ain't a whole lot you can do about that. And these guys were coming down with the ball.
Yeah, very, very great possession catches, as you see. Uses 2 hands, catches the ball at its highest point. Now, the Giants trying to get something going. Eli Manning squirts it out. And was it a fumble?
That was huge heads-up play by Clay Matthews right there, who is also the guy who creates the fumble.
True. Clay Matthews, you know, just a couple of years ago, people were saying he is one of the best linebackers in the league. I'd still got to put him in that top 5 tier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you look at this heads-up play, he's the only guy on the field. He knows he slaps it out, as you can see in the highlight right here. He slaps that sucker right out, and he knows that's a fumble. Everybody else is standing around. There are 2 Giants and 1 Packer standing around, and nobody goes for the ball but Matthews.
And Rodgers gets the ball again here on 3rd and 1. He's going to pass out to Adams, picks up the 1st down. Just about 3 minutes left to go here. The Packers knocking on the door once more. They would get in for the touchdown, and that would effectively end New York's season. Packers win 38-13. So let's go ahead and bump them right over here to the Cowboys. And now let's have a look here at our other NFC matchup between the Seahawks and the Lions. This one going down out at Quest Field up in Seattle in the rainy Northwest. Here's Russell Wilson, 4th and goal here in the 2nd quarter. And check out this catch by Paul Richardson. This is a catch of the year nominee, Scott.
Oh, absolutely. That was just acrobatic. I mean, it looks like the first OBJ catch right there. One hand over a defender. I mean, you've got a flag on it, still comes down with it, and it's 4th down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really, look at that. Your coach
concentration.
Your coach loves you when you do that, because, you know, I mean, he doesn't catch that, they're going to talk about, hey, why did they go for it on 4th, and Pete Carroll's going to eat it in the media.
Yep.
So he's, I mean, that's a big-time catch for your coach right there.
Now 2nd down here. Here's Thomas Rawls taking the carry up the left side for the 1st down. Rawls on the day set a Seahawks franchise postseason record for rushing yards in a game. I believe it was just a touch over 160. On, I think it was 28 carries. We'll have to double check that for you. And look at Richardson once again coming down with the grab while getting face masked.
While getting face masked.
Hauschka is going to tack on the 43-yard field goal attempt. That makes it 10-0. And this game was really all Seattle, Scott.
Yeah, it really was. I'm not going to lie, I was rooting for Detroit in this one.
Yeah.
I just thought they would be an easier matchup. And in these highlights, I think you're seeing why.
Oh, yeah.
And they were never really in it. And Seahawks, I mean, they looked great. They looked focused. I mean, they had guys like Richardson just making these acrobatic catches. Rawls setting records. They wanted it more, Tyler.
Yeah, and, you know, the Seahawks are showing why they've been a perennial contender here in the NFC over the past, 5-6 years now?
Yeah, and they're always dangerous in the postseason.
Always dangerous. Jimmy Graham there, that guy's another weapon on that Seahawks offense. You know, back in last year, you know, when they had Marshawn Lynch and they had, you know, a couple of receivers. They had Jimmy Graham. Thought they would have done a little bit more. But here's Russell Wilson. He's going to be sacked on 3rd and 11. Now turning it over to the Lions. Stafford's going to find Zenner on a screen pass, and Zenner kicks on the Jets. He's finally going to be tackled by Richard Sherman. That was a nice catch by Zenner. Nice catches all around.
Yeah, and, you know, Zenner's actually, he's really come on for the Lions as of late the last couple of weeks. I mean, he didn't have huge stats in this one, but going forward, I think that he's a guy they can trust.
Now Prater tacks on the 53-yard field goal. He did kick a 51-yarder prior to that. And there goes Thomas Rawls once again breaking free from the defensive line.
With a block by Wilson.
Incredible. Incredible. Now Wilson, play action pass. He's going to find his receiver out in the flats. And the receiver's going to take a few Lions there towards the first down. And with that field goal here, Scott, that pretty much does the Lions in. At this point, it's 16-6. Detroit unable to even score a touchdown. Now they have to score 2 in the next 11 minutes. And the Seahawks just pouring it on here, making it look good.
Yeah, and you're right. It never felt like Detroit was actually in this game. They had a couple of nice plays, but I mean, it was just a couple of nice plays.
Yeah.
They weren't able to put points on the board. It just honestly, it just looked like Seattle was a more talented team. It looked like they were playing harder. They just wanted it more.
And there's Jimmy Graham catching the pass right over the middle, and now the option being handed off to Rawls. That was one of his 2 touchdowns on the day as the Seahawks are victorious 26-6. So we have the NFC side of the playoff picture set. We'll get the Seahawks over there. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have a look here at the Steelers and Dolphins and the Texans and Raiders. This is the Cowboys Fan Show.